technology is your life and all you can think about are new phones, tablets and other fancy gizmos, then you've tuned into the right show. Hello and welcome to another edition of Technoholik, where we get you addicted to technology every single week. And this time around we have a power-packed show with some offerings from IFA 2011. So before we kickstart the tech, take a look at what's coming up on the show today. Up ahead on Technoholik, we get your review of Sony Ericsson's latest Androider, the Xperia Ray. We also wrap up the news of the week. But up first, Berlin was where the technology launches were this week. Stay tuned for our IFA roundup. Alright, so you guys know what's lined up on the show today, which means we can start the technology talk. Now, the International Funkausstellung, or IFA 2011, gets held in Berlin every single year, and it's a consumer technology expo on the same lines as CeBIT or the CES, that's the Consumer Electronics Expo, held in Vegas every year. Now, this time around at IFA 2011, all the major tech companies took the stage to showcase their launches for the year, which involved a whole lot of very fancy phones, on Android of course, and a lot of other tablets that also followed. So we're going to start the IFA list with the best 3 phones that were launched this year, and Samsung is headlining this list. Alright, the International Funkausstellung held in Berlin from the 2nd to the 7th of September had an interesting product launch, so let's start with the smartphone roundup. Samsung was on a roll, be it tablets or phones showcased by the company. They announced the launch of the flagship 4-inch chic smartphone, the Wave 3, the social powerhouse, the Wave M, and the smart Wave Y, all powered by Buddha 2.2 OS from Samsung. The Wave 3 is a beautiful looking phone with a 4-inch Super AMOLED display and a 1.4 GHz processor. The Samsung Wave M allows users to keep up to date with their hectic social lives with chat-on and social hubs. And the Samsung Wave Y is the perfect device to introduce new users to the world of smartphone experiences. With a stylish metallic hairline body and a large 3.2 HVJ screen, new users can take their first steps to mobile social networking with chat-on and social hubs. This one comes from Samsung too, and it's called the Galaxy Note. It has a 5.3-inch Super AMOLED Plus display with a very high pixel density. Knowing Samsung's affinity for thin mobile devices, the Galaxy Note is a 9.65mm slim body. It's an upgrade from the Samsung Galaxy S2 with a dual-core 1.4 GHz processor, and it runs on the latest Android Gingerbread OS. Other specs include an 8-megapixel camera, 16 or 32 GB internal storage, 1 GB RAM, LTE and SSPA Plus support. The next super smartphone comes from Sony Ericsson as it announced the successor of its Xperia Arc and is calling it the Xperia Arc S. It features a 4.2-inch shatterproof scratch-resistant glass with Sony reality display and mobile Bravia engine. At the back, it sports an 8.1-megapixel camera and offers connectivity options like Wi-Fi, 3G, GPRS, DLNA, and Bluetooth. It also runs the Android 2.3 Gingerbread and is powered by a 1.4 GHz processor. Not to leave Windows behind, and that's why the Acer W4 Windows Phone 7 makes the last on our list. This is the first Windows Mango OS enabled phone at IFA 2011. The phone packs in a new Acer UI and a 1 GHz processor, sporting a 3.6-inch WVGA touchscreen display. The device also comes strapped with a 5-megapixel camera, Wi-Fi, and 8 GB internal memory. Alright, so those are the best phones from IFA 2011, and Samsung is clearly having a blockbuster year with all these headline launches. Now, the Samsung Wave 3 does look promising, although it doesn't run Android 2.0 on it and it runs its own operating system, that's Butter. It still looks like a very promising phone and it's also very popular in India. That's the Samsung Wave 2 that's currently selling right now. So, if you wait for these phones to come to India, I'm pretty sure by the time you decide to save up some money and buy your next smartphone, you're going to pick something from this very list. And also, another thing to notice is that the first Windows phone, that's Acer's W4, was also showcased. It also looks promising. We just have to wait and find out how the Indian audience takes the Windows Phone 7. And now that we get the phones out of the way, the next thing that we like talking about in technology are tablets. And this time around, too, IFA was full of very nice tablets running on Android and some other operating systems. Here's the entire list from the best tablets that were launched at IFA 2011. After all the smartphone action, let's get you the best tablets showcased at this technology set. First comes the Pocketbook A10, and this is expected to debut in early November with a price tag of $300. The A10 features a 10.1-inch capacitive touchscreen display, which runs Android 2.3 Gingerbread, and the other specs include a single-core 1 GHz processor, a 2-megapixel front-facing camera, physical buttons for navigation, and about 7 hours of battery life. Samsung comes again with the Galaxy Tab 7.7. This new tablet has a Super AMOLED Plus technology and is also powered by a 1.4 GHz dual-core CPU and runs Android 2.3 Gingerbread. The tablet also sports an 8-megapixel autofocus camera with LED flash and also an HD video recording at 720p. Also, there's a 2-megapixel front camera on the front of the device for video calling support. If you've been waiting for someone to make a serious splash with a budget-priced Android tablet, hold on to your hats, as Lenovo just rocked IFA 2011 by announcing the $200 IdeaPad tablet A1. The 7-inch A1 will feature an IPS touchscreen display, a single-core 1 GHz ARM Cortex A8 processor, 3-megapixel rear and VGA front cameras, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, and also runs Android 2.3. 4 different color options will be available: black, white, blue, and pink. And while you might not expect a sub $200 to be all that sturdy, the IdeaPad A1 sports a magnesium alloy skeleton to protect its internals from all the joints. Next comes the Sony P. It's a funny folding screen tablet that has two 5.5-inch screens. One can assume that Sony is making its foray in the smaller tablet market. The screens can be used together or independently, although if you use one screen, it also means you have to accept a large black bar in the middle of your display. The 372-gram tablet is amazingly light despite its rather massive glasses case appearance. Formerly known as the S2, the tablet ships with Android 3.1, although it will be upgradable to Android 3.2. Dell and the Chinese search engine firm Baidu have collaborated to produce another entry in the market. And this brings back the Dell Streak 5 in an all-new avatar and is being called the Dell Streak 7. This shiny new tablet will feature a 7-inch touchscreen display running an Android OS. It is the successor of the 5-inch Dell Streak tablet/smartphone. It features the same user interface as the earlier version and the Dell Stage UI. It also has connectivity features like 3G, wireless LAN, Wi-Fi, and GPS for easy navigation. Alright, some very cool tablets in that list, including the Samsung Tab 7.7, which when it does get launched in India, might give the other few tablets that are currently running in the market right now, like the Reliance 3G Tab and the BT Magic, a run for its money, courtesy the very nice display and, of course, the updated version of Android that it will run. But, of course, there's a small controversy that was surrounding the Samsung Tab 7.7, is that it was available for the first 2 days at IFA 2011, where it was showcased, and then it got taken off the shelves because Apple filed an injunction against Samsung for all the devices, Samsung Tab devices, that will be available in Germany. Now, many people over the internet are saying that Apple is playing big, sorry, bad boy, but then, hey, as a consumer, you just have to wait for this to come to India and see how it works out in your next tablet purchase. And with the controversies and everything that surrounds Apple and Samsung, it's time to take a small break on the show. But coming up after the break, there were some other cool launches at IFA 2011. We get you a sneak peek into all of them.